I'm just kidding, guys. Holy smoke. I don't know why it's always a little bit stressed there. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me and see me. Those are two important, very, very important things. Okay. Wow. So what's up? What's the deal with updates? Like, oh my gosh, it seems like every time I try and do anything on my computer, I gotta update stuff. Like, what's up with that?
It's like so hard to go live.
Sweet. Yes, you can see and hear me. Yo, this smoothie is too thick. I can't drink it.
You want a spoon?
Yes, a spoon would be nice. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming to Hangout. Sorry, I was 8 minutes late. It was not the intention, but here we are now. Good. You can see and hear me. Hello from Ontario. What's up? Many of you know I grew up in Ontario. That's pretty cool. All right. So yeah, today, all I want to do is connect with you guys, answer some questions, and just hang out, have some good times. Crystal's going to join us in just a minute here. But yeah, just, I thought these sorts of lives just like always fill up my cup, always make me feel really good. And yeah, so that's why I want to do it. Crystal, you're right in the light.
Sorry.
This is Crystal who's wrecking everything, but she'll be here to save the day in a minute. Yeah, so that's it. So once we get some questions rolling in, I'll start to answer them. And yeah, that's how it goes. I've had kind of a funky week. I'm not gonna lie to you. We all have our ups and downs, especially during these, unstable times, I guess you'd say. And man, this week was tough on me, and I wanted to get something together for the weekend. Didn't happen, but here I am live because I know when, I'm feeling a little down and I'm feeling a little low on motivation. I know that when I come to you guys and I do these lives, it makes me feel like amazing. It always energizes me, fills me up, gives me inspiration. So here we go. The first question I see, I only got a full panel blood test done. I've only released the details on my the testosterone, but there's a full panel blood test coming soon, and I don't want to spoil too much of everything, but I can tell you this vegan right here definitely does not need heme iron in order to have good iron levels. And what about this vegan here? Crystal had her blood tested as well.
Yeah, my iron levels are they're okay. I could definitely bump them up a little bit, but when you're a woman and you menstruate every month and that kind of thing, you just have to be a little bit more conscious. But they weren't deficient, so
yes,
that's nice. I mean, compared to years ago when my eye was low, I was pretty happy with my results. So
yeah,
room for improvement, but definitely not dying, so that was nice.
Yeah, so no, we definitely don't heme iron, and if there's definitely evidence out there that too much heme iron is definitely not good for us. It's very pro-oxidative. So yeah, something we want to be mindful of. Our body, yeah, that's enough of that. Let's go on to more. Jordan Wilkes. Oh yeah, so super chat. So this is from on these lives, and if you want to pay a couple dollars, your question will pop up. We'll make sure to get to it. However, it's not necessary. You don't have to, spend your hard-earned money on this. We're going to try and get to as many free questions as we can. But of course, if people donate, we're going to, give priority to them. Money talks, I guess. I hate that in this world, but
it's just really
you got it.
Kind
yeah,
people
super
donate
kind
to the channel.
I know, it's super nice. So, Jordan Wells, hey Derek, you still come to the vegan camp out in the UK this year. It would be great to meet you in person. Much love from London. Cool. So yeah, actually, I'm kind of glad that you asked this question because I don't know myself. As you guys know, things are really up in the air right now. I don't know how it is in the countries where you live, but in Canada, they're not really supporting, people traveling for any reason other than total necessities right now. And you guys can look it up if you want to find out what happens to Canadians when you come back from traveling abroad right now. But there's all sorts of, they're making you stay in these, in these facilities and these quarantine hotels and stuff. And yeah, it's just wild. So I don't know. I sure hope that it's going on. It was supposed to go last year, and of course it was canceled. And really hope it's going. Hope it's going to go this year. But there's going to have to be a major shift in how things are going and being managed in order for us to have an event with thousands and thousands of people. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about that.
At this time, it's we want to go. We would love to. We plan to go, but we can't say for sure if that's going to happen in the next few months. Or I guess it's in the summertime. So Tentatively, yes. Not sure.
Yeah. All right, on.
So let's see what some other questions are.
Somebody asked, have I actively paid attention to my diet in regards to testosterone levels? Any tips to keep it up with age?
It's a good question, because that was just your last video. That's why we wanted to do this live, because we thought maybe there'd be questions about that as well.
Yeah, it's the only reason we want to do the live. Bring on the test questions. Okay, before we answer that one, can I just please make a note that it was her idea to be all matchy in this live?
I saw the shirt. I had to take the opportunity. We never get to wear like matching stuff, really.
Anyways, as far as the testosterone goes, yes. No, actually, I haven't. It's not something that I've actively been thinking of. Like, I don't. Yeah, I mean, there's no, like, I was eating tofu and flax and stuff because I knew and I'd seen the science that it doesn't have a great negative effect on our testosterone. So that for me was not a worry. But as far as like eating other foods to promote it, like every once in a while I'll do some like sort of what's it called, like an adrenal support like blend with like ashwagandha and that sort of stuff in it. And of course, like, having low cortisol can help to improve your testosterone.
Sleeping well.
But yeah, sleeping well
is
a really important one. And but he's like, sometimes I go to bed kind of late, so he's asking stuff that I do. No, he's asking about food. But no, nothing actively that I eat. Like, I know if I need like a boost, maca seems to be really helpful. I kind of like to use that in like pulses, because I do find that you kind of the effects of it kind of tend to wear off. But I do, yeah. So that's it on that one. So yeah, thanks for that question. What was this little super chat up here? Oh, just a little $5 punching fox, I think it is. Little ninja
dog or something?
Ninja fox.
From Jonathan. Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Love that.
Appreciate it. Oh, it says we're having a little bit of a connection issue. So let me know if the connection's okay in the thing. So, oh yeah, somebody said zinc helps a lot. So do soy and beans, etc. Yeah. So, yeah, getting adequate zinc is important for testosterone.
Another thing that can help is DIM. You could take that as a supplement, and that can help bring down your sex hormone binding globulin.
Yeah, we've actually learned that in the comments section. Some people gave us some cool recommendations there, because my testosterone was fairly high. My sex hormone binding globulin. I have like a stroke every time I try and say that. It was like somewhat high as well, which is okay. But it would be better if that was lower, because I would have more free testosterone to use. So some people said, hey, the carnivore guys, they say when their sex hormone binding globulin is all jacked up, they take boron. And I'm like, boron? What are you calling me? So then somebody else said in the comments, DIM. So yeah, it might be something I experiment with. Not too sure.
Jeremy had a question. Thoughts on consuming all of your non-veggie health foods, powder, spices at once? Is it better to spread them over a day to maximize the effects?
Okay. I think he's referring to like turmeric and stuff. Like, I don't think I would take like all the, like curry garlic powder, like onion powder into like a little drink in the morning. I was like, oh. But I do think that, no, I don't think that, well, with stuff that's like helping with inflammation and that sort of thing, it would definitely be best to have it a couple times throughout the day. But I don't see, is it, yeah, I mean,
you put turmeric and black pepper in your smoothie. You don't necessarily cook with it in the day or like at night. I mean, sometimes you do. It just kind of, I guess maybe it depends on what's going on. Like if it's really easy to have a smoothie and you put in all your magical powders and all the good stuff in there, and that's how you get it in, great. But you can also incorporate these foods over the course of the day as well.
Yeah, for me, like the morning smoothie is a good one, because I can just like pack like so many things into it. So I can get, like creatine in there, maca if I'm using it. I can put protein powder in there. I can get turmeric and black pepper and everything. And if I just put that all in there in the beginning, then I know I'm not going to forget about it through the day. As far as like, I don't know how those things interact with each other. I don't know. You're right, of course. But yeah, I think I know for like with things like vitamin C and stuff, if you consume it like throughout the day, it's definitely like better than having like a huge amount right at once, right? Because our bodies can only absorb so much at one time. Okay, Peter Cunnington, I went to the UK vegan camp out in 2019 and the Animal Rights March. Really hope we get to go to both from Vancouver Island. Will you go to the march too? Okay. I don't know. Is there an animal rights march? I guess it's in Vancouver. It must be on the mainland.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, or is that an animal rights march in the UK? I don't know, but yeah, hopefully we get to go to the festival. I don't have any plans to go to an animal rights march. Not against them, obviously. I don't know of any that are happening near me. What is this question? Oh no. Thank you, Amber. Yeah, thanks so much, Amber. A couple hard lags happening. Let me just see if I can't change the internet. I don't know what
it'll cut us off though.
Does it?
Change the internet, yeah.
Does that happen?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, a little suffering now and then, but it's not serious. Thanks for the info. Okay.
Because if we try to change the internet, it'll just cut off, and then this will like end. And
okay,
it
sorry
won't
guys.
Be great. Yeah, I don't know why our internet's not great.
We're gonna try and keep it on this. Can you see over there how laggy it is?
It's interesting. Yeah, on our other computer, it's to be fine.
Okay.
So I think it kind of just depends.
The March week is March is 1 week before the UK vegan campout in London. Oh, okay. So yeah.
Maybe not.
But But here's the thing, like when we travel these places, you're supposed to like quarantine for like 2 weeks. So then we'd have to show up like 3 weeks.
We don't have. Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
yeah. So maybe
man,
not.
why is this like this? I just can't handle this world anymore. Hey Derek, have you watched?
Take other devices off the internet.
Yeah, maybe. Hey Derek, have you watched More Plates, More Dates? Reaction to your testosterone results? So I did go through it. I didn't watch the whole thing. So for you that don't know, I've just recently made a video about my testosterone, and then a couple of YouTubers made videos in response to it, and that was not my intention, but yeah, I guess I opened myself up for it. And this guy, his name's Derek as well, from More Plates, More Dates. He does a channel where he talks about lots of like exogenous like hormone use and stuff. That's kind of his thing. And so he did a feature on me because a lot of people wanted him to talk about my testosterone levels. Of course, being a vegan and eating soy, it was kind of relevant. So yeah, I watched some of it. These things, you know, it's hard in my position to watch these things. It just kind of like messes with your mind. And then when you see the number of how many other people have like watched these response videos, it's like kind of like, you know, really taxing, at least for me. So
it was a good video though.
It was a good video. Yeah.
Guy.
Yeah.
He said all the things.
Yep.
know?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So yeah, nothing. I mean, what I saw, it seemed like a pretty fair assessment, and it seemed like, yeah, people enjoyed his response. There was a little hate in the comments, a little love. It's what you'd expect. Yeah. So thank you. Yeah. Happy to see your smiling face.
Oh,
Kathy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. We know Kathy.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Kathy.
Oh yeah, just a quick shout out to everybody who's from the Simnett Nutrition Facebook community. I just want to say what's up. So anybody that has purchased my ebook, you get an invite to the Simnett Nutrition Facebook community. And this is like this just incredible community that continues to grow. And there's some just amazing people in there that are so helpful. And yeah, we've seen people make transformations and come off medications and all sorts of stuff. It's really, really impressive. Any foods or tips to fight muscle soreness? Okay. So this would be like the delayed onset muscle soreness, I think they call DOMS. And it's tough. There's not a whole lot that seems to help it as far as foods go. Like, of course, like anti-inflammatory foods are going to be like helpful. But in my experience, like when I smash like a hard leg day, there's not much that seems to help. Like as far as like foods, I haven't found too much helps. They say caffeine kind of can help, like in the short term. So if you have like a workout, you know, and you have a little caffeine before, it might help. Crystal, do you have any foods that might help?
Not so much foods, more like supplement. I mean, obviously eating well, like lots of whole foods, eating like enough calories and stuff so your body's like repairing and stuff. But magnesium can be really great for muscle relaxation and just like your nervous system. Moving your body after.
That was what I was going to say.
After you like work out, not after you work out, but maybe the day after, even if you're sore, maybe just going for a walk or just like kind of like moving all that lactic acid around can be helpful, and that can help. And
I find like rolling helps as well, especially with the bigger muscles like my legs and, you know, like shoulder and back and stuff like that. I find like rolling, it just helps to like move the blood around. I'm not sure what the science says on rolling. I think it's kind of out there, but it just, you know, it feels all right. So.
Will has a great question. Do you two ever eat anything that you dislike, but specifically eat the food because of the nutritional value? If so, what food?
Oh, so
that's a great question.
Yeah, that is a good one. So for one, like, if there are those foods, like for instance, like ground flaxseed, I don't like the taste of it. It's like kind of earthy and like dirty tasting to me, but I will put it in my smoothies, right? Because I don't taste it in there. Same with like, I don't know. Yeah. Like turmeric, it's like not, particularly awesome on its own. But one is seaweed. And that's something that in small amounts, like on top of like a salad or like on some mashed potatoes or whatever, like I don't mind it just a little bit, but to have like any significant amount, it's kind of like tough for me. So that's one where to get my iodine and, all the minerals and stuff that are in it, but most specifically iodine, I'll sometimes just put a bit on like a spoon and just get her down. But that's probably the only one. Like I can't really think of other foods that.
I know, I'm trying to think as well. Like there isn't really any other foods that we mass, but seaweed is so.
Yeah, crystals.
I hate it. I'm even though I know it's like nutritionally dense, I'm like, no, I just would rather take a supplement. I can't handle it.
Oh, is there another super chat? Oh, wow. Jonathan Burnell, thank you so much for the super generous super chat question here. What are your recommendations on gaining weight on a whole foods plant-based diet? I've been vegan for like a year and
haven't lost weight.
I've lost weight.
Haven't been successful in gaining weight.
Love your videos, recipes. Okay, so a couple things you're going to want to do. First, you want to figure out what your total daily expenditure is, like how many calories you need. I demonstrate this actually in my last full day of eating video with the nutrient analysis, the macro one. So yeah, go to a website, plantspace.org has one. Type in your information, how tall, your weight, all that sort of stuff, and it'll tell you. And then your exercise level, it'll tell you how many calories you need to be taking in that day. Then you're going to want to track on a program like Chronometer or MyFitnessPal for a couple days just to see sort of like where you are. But if you are consistently eating the same amount and you're losing weight, you might just want to skip that and just like start eating more, right? And I know that's the obvious thing. So things that can help you to eat more would be smoothies are a great one, just because your body doesn't tend to like register the calories from smoothies quite the same way as if you're actually like chewing food and swallowing it the same. So, and that also works in the opposite. If you're trying to lose weight, maybe smoothies all the time isn't the best for you, but still a good food, yeah, I guess it's a food smoothie. And then also like mashing things is like really helpful. I find like if I try to eat like a can of beans, I have a hard time eating just like the full can. But if I like throw it in the blender with a bit of, like pepper and salt, garlic powder, that sort of stuff, I can eat way more of it like that. Also burritos, I tend to eat like a lot more of. I don't know if it's just because of how comfortable it is to like hold. You don't have to have this like tiny little spoon you just shove the whole thing in your mouth. Oh, yeah. Maybe that's why. But yeah, that's honestly, I think that's really helpful. But like seriously, like if you're kind of just teetering on that edge, it's just like one extra like small meal per day is gonna bump you up in an extra couple hundred calories surplus that you need. So yeah. That's the shortest answer.
You can add, if you don't cook with oil.
Oh, yeah.
Oil's not the worst thing in the world. You can add a little oil. It does boost up your calories. Replacing like fiber-dense foods, like say if you have grains with dinner, like you're having like buckwheat or some type of grain, you can throw a little brown rice or a little white rice in there. Ain't gonna hurt nobody, but it's gonna like boost the calories of that meal without having to be like super dense on your tummy, because a lot of people do struggle with eating, a lot of fiber in the, when they're first starting out. So I don't know, those are kind of like some tips too. So yeah, adding things to your meals that are a little bit calorie dense, but not super fiber rich, if that makes sense. So you can kind of get it down. There was that question, that one.
Perfect. So thank you for that question. Hopefully we gave you some answers there.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the very least, like an extra, peanut butter and banana sandwich every day will get you up a couple extra 100 calories. It's more protein. So Wilson Parks asked, thoughts on supplementing with long chain omega-3s versus just eating short chain for foods? So flax, hemp, and chia, and relying on your body to convert, right? So this is the age-old question. Actually, I don't know how old it is, but so yeah, should we rely on our bodies to convert the parent omega-3 molecule ALA into EPA and DHA, or just supplement? So I do both. I eat lots of flax, hemp, and chia, and I do supplement with the omega-3 supplement as well. But I wouldn't say I rely on that for my omega-3s. I just take it as a supplement to my already healthy diet. Yeah, I know there was a little bit of controversy about that in the summer. I think it was. There was one doctor that was saying it might not be as good for us, or it might increase our risk of, I think it was prostate cancer. But there's definitely both. Lots of doctors that say it's a great thing to supplement with. There was a couple that were saying that there was a study that was a little bit alarming, and it might not be worth the risk. In my opinion, if you're not having extremely large doses of it, because I think the risk was really high DHA levels.
Yeah, and I don't know if they looked at actually like plant-based
vegans either.
I think it could have been just
a general,
like omnivores and stuff, which you're eating a lot of fish and stuff like that, which can be not great for heavy metals and stuff. So yeah, that came with that risk. But
yeah,
I was listening to a podcast recently on the Plant Proof podcast. And they had the Dr. Sherzais, I can't remember their first names, but it was a really great podcast because they are literally like brain health doctors, and they have looked at omega-3s and how important they are. And they basically said at the end that like you can supplement if you want, if you have if you're worried about it or you're not bringing in a lot of omega-3 rich foods, whatever, supplementation is there. If you have family members in your family that have dementia or Alzheimer's, or have any kind of cognitive decline that you've noticed, then that could potentially mean that you might have an issue with like conversions and stuff like that. So supplementation can be beneficial. But basically they said if you don't have anyone in your family, like a grandparent or even anyone older that has had cognitive decline, that you might not have like a risk for it. So supplementation is kind of there, but like just make sure you're eating a lot of omega-3s. But if you do have someone in your family or you're kind of worried, like supplementation is a good idea.
Right. And a couple factors for ALA to EPA DHA conversion would be like keeping omega-6s low. So not eating like a ton of like refined oils and refined foods as well. And then also as we age, it tends to decline as well. Women seem to be better than men at converting it. So yeah, just a couple things there.
Definitely. If you are vegan or plant-based and you want to get pregnant, or you have like children, definitely probably supplementation could be beneficial, especially in pregnancy, lactation, and for kids, because kids need a lot of DHA. Their brains are growing and stuff. So that was in that podcast. If you guys want to listen to it, it was really great. Opened my eyes, learned a lot.
Nice. Yeah, he's awesome. Simon from Plant Proof. We love him. Max, just a nice super chat. Thank you so much. It looks like Czech Republic dollars or something. That's so cool. It's people from around the world. I saw one question here. I'm going to answer just before the super chat. You can keep it up, but it's is veganism a cult, like Sparage and other ex-vegans say? So it's definitely not a cult. There's nothing cult-like about it. I don't get calls from the cult leader like, hey, are you filling your quota of, converting people to the green side? No, it doesn't happen. So no, there is no cult. There's no vegan elite. And that's it. Yeah. So
veganism is an anti-oppression movement. That is what it is based on.
Preach.
It's not a cult. It's not religious. There's obviously going to be extremists and anything like that, but no, it is not. Like, it's so ridiculous that people would say that. And if they just kind of got to know people who were actually vegan, they'd realize we're just doing this out of love. We're doing this because we don't want to oppress other beings. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the whole premise of veganism. It's a social justice movement, is anti-oppressive movement. Nice.
I just wanted to touch on that because honestly, people are convinced. I see videos and
I know.
And
I'm eating vegetables.
Years ago, it was even crazier where they were like talking about like like that I was Brian Turner in like another body and stuff, and we were like transgender. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Oh my gosh, you spit out your tea. That's so good.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was fun back then.
It's sad, but it's just a way of bypassing, right? Like that's just a way of bypassing like a movement that's obviously doing things. George Sharps asks, I can't seem to get rid of my gas issue, even though I've been vegan for a few months and I soak food and I rinse a lot. Do you recommend an enzyme? Yeah. So yeah, this is a problem that happens when you first start eating plant-based. So you can, if you want, you can take an enzyme. There are some. Oh, what was that one that I used to take? Was it not mega? I can't remember now. Shoot, if I remember, I'll let you know. But it's not, it's not going to be the end solution. It might help you with that meal. It's not going to be the end solution. You want to really focus on
Man, just introducing the foods slowly that do seem to give you gas. So it's a lot of like beans and lentils and stuff, and then find versions of those foods that seem to do that help. Like some people find that canned beans and canned lentils seem to do a little bit better. I don't know if it's because they've been broken down a little bit further or whatnot, but yeah, that's it. And you know what though, if you're gonna go on like a date or like got an important business meeting and you just can't handle, and you don't want to have any gas, like, I mean, yeah, there's no shame in having some sort of, there's one that Beanzyme, I think it's called, and that's like really effective. But that would be like in acute cases, you really want to like try and overcome this. But you were gonna say something.
Oh, I was gonna say there's this book called. I'm like, it's on our. We've said this before.
I know.
We should just have like a bunch of books here.
I know.
Dr. B, he's the man.
Yeah.
This is the book for you if you are struggling with gut health or you have like a little bit of gas. I mean, I'm reading the message and you've been vegan for a few months, so you've obviously probably really increased your fiber intake, and it can take a while for your body to adjust. So you do have to kind of give it time, but this is a really great book. You learn a lot, and there's actually like a meal plan and recipe guide in the back for people that are struggling with gut health issues that you can follow and see if that helps. And then it's not based on restriction. It's basically just based on, eating foods that are going to not irritate your stomach, and then gradually you build up tolerance to those foods. Amazing.
Yeah, Fiber Fueled. Look at the name there, Dr. Will B. So,
Dr. Will B.
I really think like fermented foods can help. Like if you have like lots of sauerkraut, things like that can help.
And prebiotics can also help, and that's what you learn about in the book, because Dr. B talks about prebiotics, probiotics, but prebiotics are just like the fibers that are found in food that your gut bacteria like eat. That could be like, a lot of people think of Metamucil,
Mm-hmm.
you know how like grandma used to like maybe drink that. That's a prebiotic, and that can actually help with things. But there's also like inulin fiber, psyllium husk, I think acacia gum, like these kind of things. So anyways, it's a great book.
Okay. Hello from Michigan, says Julianne Moore. Thank you for the nice super chat. Love you guys. Crystal, what's your favorite type of strength training exercise? Your joy is contagious.
Aww.
Thank you both for bringing health and positivity to so many people. You're very welcome. Crystal, what is your favorite type of strength training exercise?
Does this
lately? I feel like you've been crushing the pull up and pull up game, or push up and pull up game.
Yeah, I've been trying to work on body weight movement just because that is definitely like an area I'm a little weak in, and I want to get to Derek's level one day. Don't think I'll get there, but just doing like mad pull ups and stuff. No, but it's like a challenge. It's really fun, and I just want to gain strength. So I've been working on that. I do kind of like. If we go to the gym, which we don't do all the time, I'll do like a push-pull legs split. But when I do my push and my pull days, I'll add like a little bit of legs in there just because we only go like, I don't know, I only probably go like 3 times a week, 3-4 times a week. And then sometimes work out at home just following YouTube. But I don't know if this means like my favorite exercise as in like one exercise. So yeah, maybe push-ups and pull-ups and stuff. They're not my favorite though. I mean, they're hard.
Yeah, but you
really
get so excited when you can do it. You come to find me in the gym.
I'm like,
and
I did 10 push-ups. But I love deadlifts. Deadlifts are really powerful, and hip thrusts. I don't like squatting, and hip thrusts have been so awesome for like building my glutes up. So
cool.
Yeah, thanks for asking.
Are people being mean? We should probably get moderators. I saw a couple of comments that looked like they were flagged. Anyways, we'll see. Be nice, everybody.
I tried to have my laptop, but if I have my laptop streaming, then apparently it like messes with the internet.
So Luke Garden says, hey, I've just got back to Whole Foods plant-based, low-fat, and back to normal range of blood glucose. How wide a range of carb foods can I eat? Even white potatoes? If you don't have normal range of blood, if you don't have any problems with your blood glucose and insulin sensitivity, I don't see those whole food plant-based sources of carbohydrates being a problem. I hope that I see the day that and I'm not saying Luke is this, but I just hope I see the day where people are not afraid of whole food plant-based carbs. Like again, and I know not all of us are, but it's like still the most common question that I get. But I do understand that Luke is coming from more of a, not just like, oh, I don't want to be fat. In my bathing suit perspective, he's coming from like, hey, is this okay for my sort of blood sugar? But yeah, I would say,
I think if you've had a blood sugar issue like insulin resistance, then I think keeping fat low, not zero fat, but keeping fat low
Right.
in your diet is going to help promote insulin sensitivity. So to the point where you can be eating like all of these foods and not really have to worry about them.
Mm-hmm. And if you're having white
yeah.
potatoes, you're probably having them with other foods as well that are going to help
fiber rich.
That are going to help to blunt that spike in insulin. So,
because that's like really important. We've talked about this when you eat like white rice or white potatoes that might have like maybe spike, have like a higher glycemic load, I guess.
Right.
Eat them with fiber-rich foods, and if you eat them with fiber-rich foods, then you're going to kind of like blunt that spike a little bit, and it's going to be a lot better. So yeah,
potatoes are so good.
Yeah, they are so good.
Carb stigma, that should be the phrase. Yeah, exactly. A little car, that's like my little project thing that I work on, and I have been to the track on it. It was like the best day, one of the best days of my life. Like as a young kid, first thing I did was like my mom gave me a doll, and I like picked up the doll, and I was like moving it across the floor like it was a car. So it just felt like every single day of my life was like leading up to this track day that I did. And it was the best thing I could have experienced, and actually made me even like a more calm driver on the road. So I think that's a good, it's good advocacy to have more like tracks available, because when, you're someone that has maybe a little bit of a need for speed, and you like to, I don't drive dangerously, but sometimes I like to, see what the car can do, that kind of thing. And it's so great to be able to like go to a track and do that.
So we had a super chat from Natasha that we missed, but someone put the question in here, and it said, how do you deal with the sadness of knowing family members or close friends are not vegan? It's something I feel often, and it kind of bums me out. Yeah.
Okay. Well, number one, I know we've said this before, but family is the toughest to deal with. Like it's the hardest. If it's, if it's parents, like, a really hard thing for them. Imagine if, you raise your kid a certain way and you do the best that you can, and you're trying to make sure that they have all the calcium that they need, for bones, and you're giving them all the milk and then all this stuff, their whole life. And then they come to you, and they're like, yo, mom, like this has been all wrong my whole life. And like, we can't be doing this and killing animals, and this is wrong, and it's giving us heart disease and all this stuff. And then, so it's like a big shakeup for the parents. They didn't come gradually into this like you did, and not under their own volition, right? And that's it with like a lot of families. So I think we just have to be mindful that it's like, they didn't take the steps to get to where they are like we have, and it isn't so gradual. So it can come as like a shock. But yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Like it's sad. Sometimes I see people around me that I know, shouldn't be eating the foods that they're eating, that they're maybe a little bit overweight, and they just, they love, barbecue and beer or whatever it might be. And I just, I know where those habits go statistically. Right. And it's not good. And it's really sad. With family, it's so dependent on the exact situation and how close you are with that person, can
only just be the light.
Yeah. Just try and lead by example. I don't know. I know I've said the saying before, but it's like I am just a lighthouse. I'm not out there saving every sinking ship. Kind of like that saying, because it kind of takes a little bit of like onus off you to like run around and try and save everyone. Like get that out of your mouth. You don't see that. So yeah, I don't know. Anything to say on it, Crystal?
It is hard, but I know over the years that when you show up in your life and you're, happy, healthy, and even though you might have a different lifestyle, it can inspire people to change, and you might not see it, but even it's just like you're planting a little seed, and it can take years, it can take a long time, but maybe these people in your life will start eating more plants, or maybe trying the dishes that you make and stuff like that. And that's the thing, is like people have to make the decision to be vegan or go plant-based themselves. They can't be forced into it, but a lot of people do know that plants are really healthy and really important. So just showing up in life and just being who you are is great, because it just plants that seed and can help maybe inspire the people in your life to make some changes, even though it might not be fully 100% vegan or plant-based. Just eating more plants is so, so important.
Yeah. So someone here just said, just made my mom go vegetarian in less than a year since I am vegan. She's willing to go vegan though. Okay, great. Yeah. Sometimes sometimes
it happens like that, it's awesome.
Like that.
Or sometimes you'll have family members that just decrease their meat intake and really are trying to try new things, like my parents will make like tofu stir fries and stuff. And it's like, oh my gosh, I never thought they would be eating tofu. And that's such a great thing. So
hey, just want to say thanks to Abby Castro for the super chat. appreciate that. It's just a nice donation. And we got a question from Jack Rainan. Are the omega-6 fatty acids in things like tofu and tempeh unstable when baked or fried, or are they protected in a whole food form? So I don't know, maybe, I don't know if you're like referring, is it like I think advanced glycation end products are from like protein, I think, right? That's not from like fats. Maybe it is fat, the combination of fat and protein cooking. I'm not too sure. But dang, for $5 better give Jack an answer
I
here.
mean, frying food is always going to like mess with it. It's not going to be the healthiest way to eat things.
Yeah, when you brown stuff, it's not great. It's not good. I do brown my food sometimes. It's not good.
It tastes really
and the
good.
reason is what I mentioned, the advanced glycation end products. I'm not too sure. Yeah, the omega-6s, really, if you cook them at really high temperature, then yes. But actually, I know your question is about omega-6 fatty acids, and I guess maybe you're curious about omega-3s as well, because I don't know, that seems to be the more important one that we seem to worry about. But they're on the flaxcouncil.ca website, which is the Flax Council of
totally
Canada
not biased.
website. Well, no, but they do
do
list some studies where it shows that they tested the omega-3 content of flaxseed, obviously, and then they tested it after they baked it into some muffins at like just a normal temperature, and they found that the levels were unchanged. And that was a surprise to me, because I was always under the impression that like heat just like nukes them, right? So I think it's going to depend on how long they're cooked, how hot the temperature. But I think for the most part, that's not something I worry about. But yeah, browning, like like really browning your tofu all the time, and is not going to be the best for us. But it tastes good. But
if you're eating a healthy diet,
yeah, have a little bit here and there.
I think we got them all.
Hopefully, we got all the super chats. I think John K got one. That's the one we missed. What do you think about fasting? 24, 48, 72 hours. I've been vegan for 5 weeks. Thank you all for the simple recipes. Please, Crystal should be in all the Ask Me Mondays.
Aww.
Oh, wow. So, wow, that's really nice. And it's funny, this is not an Ask Me Monday, but I love that you guys still refer to any question Q&As that we do as Ask Me Mondays.
So good.
I know.
So good.
We got to start doing more
rolls
Q&As.
off the tongue.
I think these Q&As are really helpful to people, and it also like boosts me up. Oh, we have 550 people watching. Okay, let's give John an answer. Fasting. I think it's cool. I think it's great. I don't do it because I love to eat, and I just like can't bring myself to do it. But I used to intermittent fast a lot more than I do now, and I really like that. As far as being vegan for 5 weeks, I don't know if you want to start messing with that now, but like these sorts of like my friend Nimai Delgado said, these are just a tool in the toolbox. They're not they're not only tool for us to use, and we don't even have to use them if we don't want to. But it can definitely help to sort of like reset your taste buds, give your digestion a rest. Obviously you'll eat less calories because you're not eating any at all. But yeah, as far as like 72-hour fasts, I don't know if I'd go quite that long. I'm thinking, I don't know.
2 days. I don't think you really need to be fasting unless you have there's some type of thing going on.
Only reason I said that I was like a fan is like I ate way too much like late last night, and I'm still feeling bloated from it. So I'm like, man, not eating this sounds good right now. But I don't know. I think it's okay. I don't think that it's gonna have any drastic changes if you just do like a fast, like here or there, at least in my opinion. And might even. Yeah, I don't know. I would try to stay away from it. If you want to like try an intermittent fast and have some like sort of guidelines around like when you're eating, that might be a little bit a better place to start maybe. Because I do find that like a lot of people, including myself, tend to do not so healthy eating after like 7 o'clock. And then often when we get up in the morning, we're just told that we have to like eat breakfast. So we just like kind of mindfully do, but often we're like not hungry. So that might be a good time to sort of practice fasting. But yeah,
I'll think fasting unless there's just like an actual reason. I've seen people do fasting, like water fasting or whatever, and then they just take it to like the extreme, and it's not great, right? Like it becomes like a challenge and stuff, and you just don't want to get into that like disordered kind of mindset. Just my thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Someone asks, is water fasting a good way to lose weight? It's a way to lose weight, but it's not a good way to lose weight.
Rebound.
Yeah, you will. It'll just mess you up. It's not good. Like, think about the people that you see that are succeeding, in these things, at least the people that are like realistic about it. And you see that are like consistent for long periods of time. They don't tend to like do these kinds of things, at least in my opinion or my experience, and the people that I have seen that tend to do the you know, that
the extreme fasting and
go on
stuff are just
fasting.
very extreme in general.
Yeah,
And it's just
they have trouble.
it's just all about consistency and like staying, you know, eating well and stuff. You don't have to do extremes to be healthy, I don't think.
So yeah, what do we got here? Some questions. Do you follow any non-vegan channels, and if so, what and what topics do you follow for them? Yeah, I feel there's some. What's that guy? Mark. He did the like squirrel video outside with the squirrels jumping.
He's so famous. What is his name?
You guys will tell me in the chat. I forget his name. Mark something. He does like one video a month, 12 videos a year, and they're like always fire. The glitter bomb guy. Like I love stuff like that. I like learning. Like Destin from Smarter Every Day. I really like that guy's channel. I watch like a lot of car channels. It's like my main thing.
I'm like, what are you trying to? You're like, I love learning. I'm like about cars.
Yeah, but no,
that's all Derek ever watches is like car channels.
Those are and skateboarding. But no, but I love those ones. And I actually lately I've been on a listening to like Unsolved Mysteries stories. I really like those. I listen to them when I go to bed. You were listening to the Alyssa Lamb story the other day.
Oh, that was on Netflix, but yes, yeah. I don't know how you can listen to that stuff when you go to bed.
But I like it. There's so many disappearances in provincial and like state parks in America and Canada here. It's like an unusual amount. There's just like something.
I don't need to hear
it's
that.
weird. Like if you look into it, there's so many cases of people just like wandering off, never being found again. It's wild.
So yeah, that's Derek.
That is me for me. This is why you got to keep me focused. You guys are the greatest. Thank you for the inspiration and spreading the energy. Thank you, Sue's Tube. Appreciate that. That's really nice. We got another question here from Adam Dietary. What are your thoughts on vaccine versus teaching the benefits of proper nutrition and exercise? Well, I mean, I think, I don't think it necessarily has to be one or the other. If you want to if you're going to take the vaccine, I think you should definitely be focusing on the proper nutrition and stuff anyways, right? But I think, yes, teaching the benefits of proper nutrition and exercise and supplements, important. I think should come first, I think. And I think that we should, and that is one thing that, and I'll say this, and I've been sad and angered that our leaders have not given us more direction on how to improve our health. And if this whole thing, they say it's about our health, and the fact that they haven't helped us improve our health in any way is just
beyond me.
Yeah.
Or beyond us. Beyond me and beyond us.
Like it's that. So I don't want to touch too much on
things.
on that topic, but that's how I feel about it. And the fact that they're going to tell you to go get that before they tell you to make sure that you have like adequate vitamin D levels, make sure that you're eating proper nutrition, make sure you don't have any like comorbidities, and like how to reduce these. Like, let's say, like
diabetes,
exactly,
metabolic syndrome, like so many things we can help people with. And it's just like, how's that not the focus?
Thank you. But stay safe, wash your hands.
Yes. Thank you, Sid, for the,
thank you, Sid.
Little pear.
The little pear.
So cute.
Very cute. Dang, agreed on that vitamin D. Yay.
When will you get another ready for a shreddy video?
Oh, the biking one. Yeah, that was fun. So yeah, that's another. I love biking videos. There's some great personalities, and what I've learned, and Crystal always tells me this too, because I'm like, man, my content's so boring, and I saw someone comment that my content's getting boring and all this stuff. And Crystal says, people watch these videos for you, and that's the thing. I watch these videos for the people, and that ready for a shreddy guy, Sam Pilgrim in the UK. So I watch him for him, and he does so very similar things in all his videos, but I love watching him. So I don't know if we'll do another, maybe in the summer we'll do a mountain biking video, but the video didn't do that well. You guys don't care about mountain biking too much. So Frederico, I don't know. Do I want to ask that one? Have you ever tried psychedelics like magic mushrooms? I have experimented. And, there's a lot of research going on right now in psychedelics, and I think it's becoming not such a faux pas to talk about, which is kind of interesting, but I think it's something that needs to be respected, and you have to know what you're doing, know your source and all that sort of stuff. But in Canada, they're talking about like legalizing it, which is kind of crazy.
Someone said, please don't tell me you guys are anti-vax. We're not anti-vax.
No.
We're not, we have
Why would
vaccines.
You think that from that? That's the thing. Like,
exactly. Saying that people should be healthy and focusing on stuff, that's not anti-vax. Like, we're not anti-vax, but we're just like pro doing things as well that we can like, that will help people. That should be kind of the focus. But it just bugs me that you're either in one camp or the other. And it's like, we're not in either camp.
No,
it's
I've had
like,
vaccines. We've
been vaccinated. We don't have the COVID vaccine, but you know, I grew up getting vaccinations and stuff. We're not anti-vax, but I'm just like I think it's okay to be able to like talk about these things, question them. Like, do I need to get that? Like, well, why is that? You can do that. I just thought that was an interesting question because I think that's a very big assumption, especially in like the vegan community, that vegans are like anti-science or anti-vax and stuff. It's like, no.
Yeah, Oregon just decriminalized all drugs. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I just have lots of questions on these things. I don't know. I don't know if these are all great ideas. Like, but clearly the war on drugs isn't working because you can go down, you know, to any downtown and get any drug you want. So that's not working. Sorry. That's okay. Did you think more? Yeah, people are asking about the More Place, More Dates video. I did address it earlier in this live chat. I saw it. It was a fine assessment. I actually watch him, and I watched him before. It was kind of a shock to see me on his channel. I didn't think that I would garner enough interest. You know, it was just the video wasn't that exceptional or anything. You know, it was just like, hey, I'm vegan, I eat soy, I have fine testosterone levels, but there it is. So yeah. So.
Do we use salt in our cooking?
Oh,
yeah, we use salt.
Yeah,
salt is very, very, very delicious. I used to never have any salt or like any flavor in my food, and then I met this guy, and I was like, oh wow, food can be so tasty.
Yeah, I don't know if like
you're eating healthy.
If you don't need a ton of salt on your food, and you enjoy eating like these healthful foods, you can get lots of them down without it. Yeah, probably don't need it, and it's probably best without it.
Salt is kind of nice.
It does increase our chances of stomach cancer.
Oh, and it can be not good if you have high blood pressure.
And high blood pressure, yeah, because...
So yeah, there's like, you know, if you have a medical need where you might have to avoid some salt, probably good. Yeah. But, you know, we're both healthy people and salt is kind of nice. And we like calisthenics. It's a new salt we've been experimenting with the last few months, and it has like this sulfury kind of eggy flavor, and it's really good. So, someone just mentioned that, so I just wanted to like talk about
C-Reacts says... in the super chat, I need a vegan personal trainer. Should I send you an application? Lol, jokes. Keep up the good work. Been vegan since 2017, and you've been a go-to channel.
Aww,
wow,
sweet.
Thank you, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, me as a personal trainer, I don't know. I'd just be like, all right, do more pull-ups. No,
I think you'd be a great. I'd be great to get.
I do think I would be a personal trainer because I am so observant. I always watch everything. And I've always watched like personal trainers in like gyms, and when I see a good one, I'm like, dang, that I want to tell that person they're doing a good job, because you see so many personal trainers, they're just like they got their clipboard and they're just like looking off, or they're like on their phone or whatever. But yeah, when you see the ones that are like down there doing the workout with them and, you know, helping with form and stuff like that, I'm like, dang, that looks fun.
But you're not his personal trainer yet. But I think it would be really cool if you did get certified, because then like you could do plans, you could do so many things.
Yeah, and then I know what like muscles I'm talking about when I try and be like, okay, and then you pronate your. Yeah. Oh, never mind. Just do this. Jonathan Bernal asked, what are your thoughts on CBD? Do you use them? Examples for sore muscles after workouts. So, yeah, I've experimented with CBD, and I myself didn't notice a whole lot, but that's just me. I know a lot of people who seem to get great results from it, helping with like, you know, stress and inflammation, pain, that sort of thing. So I don't think it can hurt to try. You're not going to get high from it. Too bad. But, you know, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think, you know, as long as it's coming from like a good source, and that's the thing, there's just like so much of this stuff out nowadays. And I think one of the big things is that the dose is often not enough to sort of elicit a reasonable like response in your body. So yeah, that's something to take a little bit of research just to make sure. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts. I don't know. I feel like I don't want to say it's like a lot of hype, but I feel like, you know, there's a lot of people that are out there selling it right now. It's a really hot item to sell. We get, you know, I get messages all the time. Hey, you want to sell my CBD oil? And I'm like, man, I just can't do these things that I'm not like, that don't work for me. Right. And I just haven't noticed anything from it. But yeah, you know, who knows? I might have messed up my cannabidiol receptors in the past. I don't know.
Do you take chlorella or spirulina?
Oh, cool.
We used to take spirulina. We used to
And
take a
chlorella.
lot of that, actually, but we stopped.
Yeah.
Because we were like, is this great?
Yeah, we weren't sure. We know that it, it's questionable whether or not if it's like a safe source, because sometimes it can like soak up impurities and toxins from the water and different environments. Sometimes they even make spirulina in open vats, and then at the end, the thing with spirulina is it's like a chelator, right? It holds on to holds onto like metals and stuff like that. So we just want to really make sure that it comes from like a good source if we are having it. And then there's like the B12 analogs and stuff that are in it as well. So it was just something that I thought, hey, you know what? I don't know if the risk of consuming this is worth the potential benefits that I'm getting. So we've just stopped, and it also is like kind of expensive. So yeah.
We used to take, we have taken chlorella on and off, but we just, again, really like, I don't know. We're just not right now.
Yeah.
We're just like, we don't really need it, I guess. I don't know.
That's one of those things. Yeah, it's tough. Like, you just don't feel any different. I don't feel any different. So many drug questions now. It was like, have you tried this? Have you tried this? Have you tried kimchi? that was one of them.
Okay, well, before we get into that, there was a really great question. When you guys use meat alternatives, which do you recommend based on nutrition and taste? We really like Gardein products. You guys can find those. Yeah. I mean, we live in Canada, so honestly, what we get in the stores is like nothing compared to places like the US. Like we don't.
And even the UK. The UK.
Like, you guys have such good stuff in the UK.
Yeah, can't find too many fresh veggies and fruits, but the packaged vegan stuff is like, wow.
It's like bomb.
Yeah.
So we like Gardein because it's like it's pretty good. I mean, it tastes delicious.
It's easy, available everywhere. It's always.
I think it's okay.
But again, we don't eat these things for the nutrition, right? Like what I do is it's just fun. It's just a fun little accessory on, an otherwise healthy plate of food. So try not to make them just the sole part of the meal. But yeah, I like Gardein. In the States, there's so many more. I know my friend Brian Turner, he looks at like the macros on them, and he knows which ones are like highest in protein and like lowest in fat and that sort of stuff. But I'm not that keen. I'm just like, yo, chicken fingers, give them.
Just wanted to say congrats to Jaden.
Oh yeah,
BC Masters today. That's cool.
Yeah, that's great. Nice.
Man, that's a lot of school to get to a Masters.
That is. Yeah.
Dang, good for you for just getting through that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And good for you for doing your Masters too.
Exactly. I know, that's crazy. They stopped selling that amazing queso sauce at Costco. Yeah, I know.
But you can make it.
But you can make it with my video. It tastes like, I don't know, it's like
kind of
70% of the way there. Yeah, I know. And you know what's kind of good for me, because I kept on buying that, and I would like to eat it with like 1 or 2 meals, and then it would like sit in the back of the fridge. And after like 4 days or 5 days of something being open, to me, it just like is a science experiment. I get weird with like food like that. So then we wouldn't eat it. So kind of good, because now I'm not tempted to like waste $10 on that. Although it was really good. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, do you guys have any morning routines? If so, could you tell us a few activities you both partake in? Okay, well, lately what I've been doing. I didn't do it today because I was kind of in a little bit of a rush, and I might have slept in a bit.
You went for?
But I went for a run. But what I've been doing is every morning, instead of getting up, a lot of the time what I would do is I'd roll over, I'd grab my phone, and I'd be like, oh, how many X? Like, how many views did I get on my last video? Did it climb up overnight? Or like, how many, people are watching my stories? Or like, what's the latest news around the world? Am I going to be traveling to the UK this year? Like that sort of stuff. And starting your day like that, like was really messing me up. And I'm like, hey, I don't want to like be ending my day doing, on the phone and everything, and then starting my day with it. It was just like too much. So I said, okay, no phone. I'm going to stretch in the morning. So I've been doing this. I've been taking 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just stretching in the morning with no phone. And just get down on the ground. I just, do a bunch of stretching, and then I will sit and I'll meditate. And I don't want to say like I'm ascending to some like, far away like land or anything. I'm not doing like transcendental meditation, but I just sit and focus on my breath, and I just let myself be calm, and I just like enjoy that time to myself. And I know that as soon as I'm done that, I can do all the things that I want to do. And it's actually like really motivating, helps to, get me fired up for the day. So I just sit there I just say, 10 minutes of stretching at least, 5 minutes of sitting / meditation. And if it ends up, and those be longer than that, then that's totally fine as well. So yeah, cool. Hope that helped answered your question. And I think anybody, I recommend that to anyone. Just it's been like the most helpful thing for me to start my days like that. I really do enjoy it. And I find even for the rest of the day, I'm not quite as tied to my phone. I saw him. I think someone was asking, maybe a little bit confused about veganism. They asked if we're vegan, and then I think maybe the same question asked if we eat. The same person asked if we eat eggs as a vegan. So no, we're vegan, but we don't eat any eggs. As a vegan, you don't eat eggs. That's
you don't need any animal
products at all.
It might be a little bit confusing because there's vegan and plant-based, and we try to make like make that clear that we are vegan. We eat 100% plant-based diet. All the recipes online are obviously 100% plant-based, but plant-based is different than vegan.
Mm-hmm.
And so eating a lot of plants is super great and stuff, but vegan is more of like an ethical stance, like I talked about a little bit earlier in the video. And so that can be confusing, but I think it's an important, to differentiate the two, because then it can be less, it can be confusing, but it's good to differentiate the two, I guess. And so sorry if that confused you, because you're like, are you vegan or plant-based, or like, what the hell?
And then they might also be thinking vegetarian as well. And vegetarians
can eat.
Do they eat eggs? I actually don't know.
They basically eat everything. It depends.
Just there's no flesh,
there's
no meat.
Levels, I guess.
What else? I saw.
Oh my God,
that's so funny.
So
You saw the same thing as me? That Carl Anderson asked, what's worse, the carnivore movement or kipping pull-ups?
Oh man. Oh, I gotta think about that. No, I'm just kidding. you're just like
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the carnivore movement on that one.
100%.
Much as it pains me to see kipping pull-ups. Hey, at least they're out there moving their body, they're out there. But if you're a carnivore and you're doing kipping pull-ups, like, oh my God. Get out of here. Do you guys have any caffeine, tea, coffee? So yeah, Cam Negra, he asked that. And the truth is, Cam, I don't know if you saw my video a long time ago that I broke up with coffee. Well, it's complicated. We're kind of back together. What I like to do is, because I do like caffeine, especially before my workout. I do have better workouts if I have caffeine. So I try to just have only a little bit of the caffeinated grounds, and then a lot of the caffeine free. And we get Swiss water processed caffeine decaffeinated coffee, and I make it like that. So and I don't do that all the time, but on the days where I feel like I want a little extra, I'll have that. If I have too much caffeine, it just kind of like gives me anxiety and kind of like messes with my digestion, to be honest. So there you go. Crystal, you don't really have too much caffeine. No, I'm having this is a little bit of decaf coffee, just because it's like a Saturday and it's kind of like exciting. I like the flavor, but I find that it does affect my sleep. And it was really hard to come to that, realization where I was like, oh God, I sleep so much better when I don't have coffee. And we do have like a little vegan pre-workout from an unnamed company that maybe has a little bit of caffeine in it. And occasionally we'll consume that if, we want a little jolt before the gym. It's fun, Yeah, but once a day for me, and obviously Crystal doesn't have it nearly once a day, but yeah, I limit it to like once a day, and always before 11 o'clock. Like if it's like maybe 12 noon, I'll do it. But I find if it's after that, I find it definitely like keeps me up. And even if it doesn't keep me up, my quality of sleep is not nearly as good. But if you did watch that video, you'll learn that we all have different rates of how we metabolize caffeine, and some of us are very slow metabolizers of it. Yeah, and if you love coffee, but you are realizing like your sleep isn't great, or you have anxiety, or you're just not doing that well, it's important to maybe try to get off of coffee for a little while, just to see if it helps, because it's really hard. When I realized that it really was not great for my sleep, I had a moment of sadness. I was like, oh man, but it makes such a difference. And so, even going to decaf or reducing can help, but it's just always good. It's just good to investigate. And I know a lot of people might not want to investigate it because it's like their vice, but yeah. Good. Enough on coffee? I got a little question. Chat. Okay. Oh, question for Crystal. For your skincare routine, which product line do you use as far as facial cleansers, toner, and hydration goes? P.S. Love you guys. And the Facebook group too. Nice. Thank you for all you do. Sweet. So thank you. I don't use one particular brand for all of those things, but I do have, I would say maybe a skincare addiction, kind of. I really do love skincare. We have a lot of stuff in the cupboard. It's just jumbled. Maybe just a couple of brands that you can look for. But I really like the Acure line, which I think you can find at Whole Foods, but you can probably find it depending on where you live in a lot of other places. So that's Acure. It's very, very affordable. As far as moisturizers go,
Paula's Choice makes some really nice ones. There's also some really nice ones that, like, I'm trying one right now by Youth to the People, which is a vegan and cruelty-free skincare line. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's quite nice. I don't use a toner. I don't know if that's bad, but I just find that my skin can dry out a little bit. Whatever. You know what? Let the women talk. And yeah, as far as that, for hydration, I really like the Ordinary products because they're really affordable, and I find that their skincare is really, really good as well.
That's
and
what
so
I use those products, the Ordinary
you
ones.
like the Ordinary. So we have like that, and they have like the hyaluronic acid and stuff. To be honest, I really like trying different things. So I don't really have like any like holy grail products. But yeah, those are kind of like my favorite. You hate when I talk about this stuff. You're just like, let's move on.
Skincare. It's good, but it's, I don't know, like, it's good. Is that, do you want to go get some of them to show?
No,
I was going to
no,
suggest that
okay.
might be better.
No.
Because then you can just, boom, 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 this one, this one, this one.
No, that's okay.
Are you sure?
Like, no, because I have like, it's just.
Yeah, I know, you
so
bring out like your freaking Rubbermaid.
Yeah, here you go. But
I just want to say, going to bed sometimes, her face looks like pretty shiny.
Yeah, if I'm not greasy, it's not good, you know? I look pretty greasy.
So, okay.
So, yeah.
Anyways, moving on. Thank you, Hattie, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Really nice of you guys. It's like, I can't believe people just were like, hey, I'm gonna give Derek $5. Oh, like Crystal, nothing. But anyways, no, don't worry. I'll give her a cut for skincare stuff. Somebody, Normie Skelly, I don't know if this was directed at me, but this is interesting. I don't really know how to answer this, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway. So let me get this clear. There is zero nutritional benefit or evidence backing the consumption of animal products. No, I never said that.
No, we've never said that.
And there definitely are. There's nutrients in meat and stuff that are going to benefit our health. But it comes packaged with stuff that might not benefit our health as well. So if you go look at plant-based foods, there's so many things that are going to benefit our health, very few that's not going to benefit our health. So that's just, like, anyways, just wanted to throw that out there. I didn't know if the person, if I might have said something that made it seem like that or whatever.
Because meats, I mean, there's nutrients and stuff in there, proteins, but it's packaged with cholesterol, saturated fat. When you eat those things, they have the TMAO response.
Well, it's choline in the gut. It's just turns into TMAO. And
it's a lot, and people don't know that, right? And it's not really talked about a lot, and so that's just something to be super, super
cool
about.
Someone asked about no-cal bars. Thoughts? Wow.
We've tried those before.
Remember that song?
Yeah.
Wow.
No cow.
But that was Oatly.
We've tried those, but they're not available in Canada. So we've only tried them when we went to the States.
Yeah.
A little
a friend of mine.
Fake sugary. Hey?
Yeah.
The taste was a little, I don't know if it's not stevia. I don't think they use, but it's like.
It's kind of like those Quest bars, right? Where it's sort of that like gummy material.
Yeah.
And I've never had a Quest bar, but I used to work in a supplement store and I've seen like a zillion of them get open. And I've seen people chewing on them. And it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a weird time. Like I love things like Lara bars and stuff where I can like actually like, where it's like what the food is that's in there. But when it's just like the inulin, like chicory and I just find them a little bit, not my favorite. But yeah, I know a lot of my friends seem to really love them. Okay.
No cow. That's so good. I don't know if you guys saw that Oatly commercial, but you should, because we had that song stuck in our head for days. Like even now, I'm gonna have it stuck in my head just from saying that.
Tastes like milk. It's made for humans. It tastes like milk made for humans. Wow.
Wow.
No cow. Oh man, you guys got a song today. Any other recommendation books on vegan nutrition and the benefits?
Do you want me to, should I just go and try?
Well,
you just think.
Yeah, we could grab a couple books for you guys. I'll answer some more questions. Crystal will come back. We'll show you some books. We're just about an hour now into our live chat here. And we have 630 people watching. Wow. Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. This is crazy. So yeah, Crystal's getting some good books. I'm going to answer this super chat question from Casey. Hey, just saying, hey, you're all so wholesome and kind-hearted. Your content, both of you, always brings joy to my day. Well, thank you. That is super nice, man. I try and be wholesome, kind-hearted. I'm definitely kind-hearted all the time. sometimes I swear and stuff, so it might not be as wholesome as you guys think, off the video, but no, I am. Man, I just like being a good person, that's what we all should strive to be. Yeah, someone said How Not to Die. That's a phenomenal book. Not that one, that my textbook from school. It's so good. It is good. It is good. It's like so big though. Okay, let's get some more questions here.
Man, I don't know.
Hattie, another $5. Thank you. You don't have to keep giving me money though, but I appreciate it.
We've given away, I feel like a lot of our books. I've given away a lot of them just because people will ask, and I'm like, here's a book, and so yeah. Anyways, How Not to Die and How Not to Diet is also really good. That by the man himself, Dr. Greger.
Dr. Michael Greger.
This is also a really great book, Mastering Diabetes, because a lot of people have issues with insulin resistance, but it's not only for people with diabetes, it's for anyone that might, be struggling if you have PCOS or those kind of things, gestational diabetes, for example. This is a really great book. It's all about that, eating carbs that are good, not bad for you. Yeah.
Cool.
And then there's so many other books that I want to show, but
Crystal gives them all away when we.
I'm like, why do I do this? Because I'm like, I'll read it, and then I'm like, oh, you should read this and give it to someone, or donate it or something.
So, okay, Jew Unit 85 asks, did your girlfriend convert you into veganism? No, she did not. I like how the language goes along with the cult question earlier.
Did I convert you?
So no, I was converted on my own, under my own volition, and same with Crystal. But we met each other because we were both vegans, and we had
friends that were
omnivorous
friends who were like, you guys should date because you're vegan.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
And then look at us now.
Just a little.
And then we met, and we were both good people.
Modern love story.
But it's funny though, because our friends were both kind of like, hey, he has a vegan friend, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not dating someone just because they're vegan.
Yeah, I know. Love that. Madeline Johnson asked, thoughts on added sugar and the way it might affect hormones. Yeah. Okay. Well, right away, for guys, I think it can be good for testosterone because it can. Sugar can elevate cortisol levels.
Yes.
Not, and then that, as we talked about earlier, is not good for testosterone. So, I mean, I think regardless or not if it affects hormones, added sugar is not something that we want to be consuming. So, I think there's more than just the hormonal reasons to get rid of it. But
I believe it also because it does spike cortisol, it can affect. Over time, obviously, if you have a birthday, piece of birthday cake or something, it's not going to be terrible. But if you're having refined sugar all the time, and then, spike cortisol, and then that can start to affect thyroid, can also potentially affect progesterone levels. And then I also know that blood sugar that's unregulated or up and down and just a little bit crazy can cause, I believe, your ovaries to excrete more androgens. And that's obviously not great. I don't think that happens in men because you guys are.
I don't have ovaries, but especially if you have PCOS, I guess.
Yeah, but so that can it can secrete or it can maybe raise levels of androgens, which is not great, especially with PCOS and stuff like that. So your blood sugar, you want to really make sure that it is balanced. I mean, within reason, obviously, but that's why this book. Mastering Diabetes is really great because it talks all about blood sugar and how to make sure that your blood sugar levels are good and balanced, and you're not having those spikes and those ebbs and flows and not having high blood sugar and stuff.
So I had somebody asked what is in my smoothie here today. So it was supposed to be a smoothie, but it turned into a
goop
smoothie bowl, smoothie jar. Standard 2 bananas, 2 dates, a cup or so of frozen berries, some Viva Life protein powder. I think that's probably it. It was a pretty basic one today. Any flaxseed in there? Crystal made half of it.
I did put some flaxseed in there.
Nice. And some flax and water.
I got your back.
There we go. And then somebody has been asking about not gluten, but
seitan.
Seitan.
And it basically is gluten.
Yeah. So they've been asking about seitan. Yeah. I don't know, I don't, if you don't have a problem with gluten, I don't see it being any more harmful than, eating glutinous containing foods. Super high in protein, incredibly high in protein. I don't know, I think it's good, but I don't eat it a lot, but it is in some of those mock meats I'll occasionally eat. And we have actually Crystal did make some seitan steaks a couple weeks ago, and they were amazing. We should make more of them. Yeah, it's not something that's a large part of my diet, but it finds its way in there every once in a while. If you're, looking for absolute maximum health, I think, the answer is always going to be whole foods for the win. So maybe just eat whole grains instead of eating, the isolated gluten. But yeah. What do you think, Crystal? What should we do? A couple more questions?
Yeah, I don't know. Do lives like cut you off after you've been on them for a while?
I don't know.
I feel like last time it was just like it just stopped.
Well, yeah, I know. We have 600.
We'll do a couple.
We'll do another 10 minutes. Let's get some more questions.
Okay, another 10 minutes.
Yeah. What somebody keeps saying, let's help Homer Simpson. I don't know what that means, and I haven't seen a question. Oh, Homer Simpson. Here we go. How to strengthen. What? Really? This is the guy I have to help him? What else does Homer Simpson need to know?
Oh, how to strengthen your knees.
Oh, your knees. Because I didn't see that. Knees. Okay, how to strengthen knees. Holy, dang. I don't know. Knees are a mystery to me.
Yeah, we're not physiotherapists or personal trainers or anything. We don't really know
knees.
That kind of stuff.
Man, yeah, as far okay, so one thing, it's not necessarily strengthening, but you want to work on your mobility of all the areas around your knee, and you want to work on the flexibility of your quads, your hamstring, and what's this muscle again? Your
calf.
I don't even know what it's called. That's how little I work it. So yeah, I don't know. But who are those guys? My mom likes them on YouTube. Those two.
Oh, they're like the two brothers.
Yeah, the two physiotherapists. Yeah. Bob and Brad.
Or Brad and something. Yeah.
Yeah, Brad and something. I think it's Brad and Bob. I'm pretty sure they are super knowledgeable on the body, and they always have really good recommendations for that. Someone said squats. It's not going to strengthen your knees, though. It's going to strengthen your quads and your hamstrings and your glutes. But I don't think it's going to be good for your knees. The knees are tough. I mean, you want to keep walking. You want to use it, right? You're going to lose it if we don't use it. Someone lolled at my calf joke. Thank you.
I think it's also important to make sure that it might not be in your knees, depending on what's going on. It could be your hips,
your lower back.
So many things your hips really do dictate knee and ankle and all that kind of stuff. And so if there's something going on, it could be that. And so getting professional help, that's why it is really important.
Someone says, I think it's important to have strong quads to release the pressure from the knees. No? Okay, but yeah, fair enough. But the thing is, if you have weak knees and you just start squatting, it's a really tough movement on the knees to squat. So yeah. I think we're thinking, eventually I think that would be a great place to get to. Yeah. But I think this person's probably thinking a little bit further back from that, because if you're ready to go into the gym and do some squats, you're not thinking, how am I going to strengthen my knees? You're not even thinking about your knees.
You're just kind of
as a vegan, how do we reach protein macros without exceeding the carbs? There's no such thing. The thing is, this is one of the most common questions that I get, and I'm sure you get it as well, Crystal, is that people seem to think that there's this perfect macronutrient ratio that we should be eating in. And when we start eating whole plant-based foods that are naturally rich in carbohydrates, somehow this skews it to be unhealthy. But that's not the case at all. We just need to eat whole plant-based foods and not worry too much about macros. I've never been a macro counter myself. I've never limited whole food plant-based carbs. And I don't, I never have a problem staying, relatively lean. I mean, I'm not the, 2% body fat or anything, which I don't want to be, but, that it's not like carbs equal gaining weight. It's excess calories and sedentary lifestyle that is going to lead to that. So yeah, I understand. I'm not trying to poke fun or anything, because I understand when you see that number and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm eating 350 or 400 grams of carbohydrates in a day. And people that are keto are eating under 30, you're like, oh my gosh, so there's got to be, I got to get it lower at least. But honestly, I don't think that there's a reason to. So yeah, just eat higher protein foods with some of your meals, the beans and the lentils and the rice. But here's the thing, and I know I've said this, so you guys are probably sick of hearing it, but even beans, a supposed high protein plant food, are 75% carbohydrates. 75% of the calories are coming from carbs. So even if you eat just beans all day, you're still going to be eating 75% carbs. Like, so you're going to, if you want to really lower that number down, you're going to be eating a lot of tofu, a lot of tempeh, a lot more like fats as well, like avocado, nuts and seeds. Seitan is another one.
And fake meats and protein powder. That's what a lot of people end up doing. Which,
but I don't think
you don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, I think fruits and quinoa and rice and beans and stuff are all such helpful foods that I don't think we need to be limiting them. So, yeah, I understand the worry, but I just don't worry too much about your macros. But if you do want to know, like the last full day of eating that I did, my macros were around 60% carbs, 20% fat, 20% protein, which I think is like a fairly even split if you want to do. And that that is like probably the lowest carb like that I've been eating in the last little while. Like when I used to be much more a higher carb and lower fat than that. But yeah, so that's where we're at. Hopefully it helps. Leg extensions will strengthen all the muscles that tie into the knees, which will stabilize the knees. The leg extension, this one that's like that, the one that people like try and get me canceled off of Instagram for showing
because it's bad.
Because it's bad for your knees. Hey, I'm with you on that. I love the leg extension, but yeah. Again, we've got to be mindful of, apparently it's the shearing force. It's the fact that like you're pushing. Anybody that has ever been a tech decker in their life, like, like the skateboard, little mini skateboard, this is how you describe things with legs, by the way. But yeah, when you're pushing, there's the shearing force on your knees right there, and your knees are your legs trying to bust out from your knees that way, right? So it puts an awkward sort of force on them. But, to that person though, I'm with you on leg extension. I like that exercise.
Thomas asks, what do you eat on lazy days?
Oh, yeah. So, okay. I would eat like, perfect example is just like, what was it? 2 days ago when I had that can of like lentil soup, I even did a video on it, how I made the thumbnails like this. I'm holding the blank can of soup and I got the thing here or whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I'll just, on a lazy day, smoothie, super easy. I'll have that. And then like for lunch, peanut butter, toast, banana, with some hemp seeds on top. And then for dinner, like a can of vegan soup that I soup up by adding like stuff like frozen green peas, some corn to it. If there's any leftovers, leftover like sweet potatoes or like, potato or, lentil pasta or something, I'll throw that in there as well. Chop up some bell pepper, boom, put that in, a little salt, pepper. Put that in the bowl with a little greens, some sauerkraut on the side, a little hot sauce on top.
I think we might get the picture.
Yo, this is.
It's like a recipe video now. You're like, hey, we just do that in a little garlic powder.
Hey, but no, that's what it looks like for me.
It's not really like lazy. It's just you're so used to cooking and stuff that it might be.
But that would only take me a few minutes to put together all those meals. I mean, it wouldn't spend too much time cooking. But yeah, that's sort of what a lazy day looks like for me.
For me, it's just eating like leftovers. That's like.
Yeah, that's Crystal's big thing is like.
I love leftovers.
Your thing is okay. First of all, you eat the leftovers, like, and you won't be like, hey, you want to split these or whatever. It's just like
because like you're not a huge fan of leftovers.
And you will hunger strike until I make dinner, and then you're like, oh, are you making something? Can you make a little extra for me? So that's Crystal's deal, just in case you guys were wondering.
I feel very attacked right now. Yeah, that's true. Anyways,
when you started,
it's not a hunger strike. I'm just like, oh, I could make dinner, but Derek's making dinner, so like.
I make such bomb dinners though. So yeah, I don't
your dinners are like super.
Yo, Luke Harwood coming in with the £5 euro super chat.
$10 Canadian.
Pretty much. When you started your YouTube channel. Was there anything which made talking to the camera easier? If not, don't worry.
I watched some old videos of Derek and you're like, hey guys, what's up?
Okay, yeah, this is the thing. So on that testosterone video, I don't want to miss. Yeah, okay, we don't want to miss this guy's question. So yeah, it's funny because on that testosterone videos, people were like, I don't need to see any testosterone level tests. Just listen to this guy's voice. He's obviously like a soy boy. He obviously has no testosterone or whatever. And I'm like, yo, first of all, like, I don't have like a high voice. Like, it's not like my voice is high. I'm not, I'm 5'6". I'm obviously not going to be like a freaking baritone. And then also, yeah, I use expression in my voice. Like, I'm like all over the place if you don't notice, because it's interesting to listen to people like that. But if you look at my first videos, yeah, I was like just sort of trying to be that alpha male, and I'm just like, hey guys, so today we're gonna be unboxing my new dip bars, and it's like, yeah, I could still. Sure, I could talk like that and sound like I have a deep voice all the time, but it wouldn't be that interesting to listen to me. Chris is just losing his stuff over here. So, anyways, what was the question? Where did I go?
How does it make it easier to talk to the camera?
Why was I talking about that? So, just because of the talking, Jesus.
No, because I remember watching old videos.
Oh yeah, my old videos.
You
right,
used to look terrified. You're like, hey guys, what's up?
So, practice and time. One thing though, okay, this is a really practicable. That the word piece of information that you'll be able to use is on the other side of the camera. I picture the person who is like my ideal audience, right? So the person that I'm trying to make a video for, and it's like I just picture someone that is like just friendly and receptive to my information. Yo, you're done with this live stream, and friendly? That's. Yeah, because I don't want them to, I'm not trying to picture the person on the other side of the camera being like, oh, listen to this soy boy's voice. And then all of a sudden I start talking deep again. No. So that's what I do. But you know what else is really helpful? And I don't put myself in Instagram stories. But it's really, I always show my food and stuff, but sometimes I don't want to see myself. What did it say?
Oh, it said connection was unstable, but we're good. I think
sorry, man. I hope you guys heard some of that funny rant there. That was hilarious. Crystal's listening. But yeah, Instagram stories. Get yourself in front of the camera as much as you can. And that's the main thing. And then watch yourself back. Like it's super painful to do, but watch yourself back and then like look and see, notice like where are you looking are you always like looking down here, or like looking at yourself? That's another big thing. It's hard to not do on these lives. So let me try to look up here.
I always am looking at myself.
At the camera. Yeah, I know. I was trying to tell you to look up there, but that's okay. So that's another thing. Just practice. And that's all it's going to take. Jose Marquise asks, how to progress in weighted calisthenics, drop sets, progressive overload, increase reps. Currently at 8 reps, 8 kilogram pull-ups, and 10 reps, 6 kilogram ring dips. Oh, way to go. Wow. Yeah, awesome. Ring dips are hard as they are. I mean, so are pull-ups without any weight, but man, adding weight to them is tough. So good for you. Yeah, the thing with the weighted, what I noticed with weighted calisthenics is that my progress was not like linear. It wasn't like, oh, I was putting on a few extra pounds. Like it's so taxing and so hard on the body. I feel like it's almost like doing your almost like sort of a 1 rep max. I mean, and so I found that, yeah, it was sort of like I would try really hard and then I wouldn't seem to get anywhere. And then it would be like, boom, the next, maybe a few workouts later after I had a good rest day, it was like, wow, all of a sudden I can do this. Right. So yeah, I think what I used to do was like lots of drop sets. So one, as many as you can do with whatever weight on that you can, maybe try and get at least 3-4 reps in. And then you right away, as soon as you sort of break form and you don't have that good form anymore, you're not getting your chin close to the bar, then you drop that weight and then you do more at that weight. And that would be like for pull-ups. And then once you're done there, you can drop that even further and move to a chin-up grip, because the chin-up's even easier. And you could probably even squeeze in 1 or 2 chin-ups doing that. So then, you get a set where you probably do 10 pull-ups, but the first few are really hard with an extra weight, and then it gets a little easier. And then the last few are chin-ups. So hopefully that answers the question. But yeah, definitely. That was something I did. And then negatives can be really helpful as well. Negatives would be when you, if for a dip, for example, if you somehow stand up over the bar, get your arms kind of straight, and then slowly let yourself down, and then use your feet or your legs kind of to lift yourself back up, sort of to assist you. That works as well. Yeah, just stay at it.
So we have like a few questions that like this one just went away, but really quickly, Giovanni asked, what was both of our guys, like what was our first job? And I think for me, I remember babysitting, but my first job, I worked at a mini golf.
Yeah.
That is still in town. Yeah. And Derek's like, we should go. I'm like, I have not great memories of that place, but sure. What was your first job?
I love mini golf. My first job, my first sort of job was cutting lawns. Was like my first job. That was really cool. I learned a lot from that boss. It was really cool because I just want to say this. Anybody out there that has employees, he paid us a lot for like how young we were. And I remember asking him one day, I said, why do you pay us so much? And he said, well, what I found over time is that people will work as hard as what they feel that they're being valued at. So he said,
that's great.
yeah. And I thought that was really cool. And I'm like, wow, because I would have done the job for like at the time for like probably $10 an hour. But he was paying us like 16 or 18 or whatever. And as like a 14 or 15-year-old kid, I was like, holy smokes. And then he said also, yeah, I found that if you don't pay them what they feel like they deserve, then they'll find a way to get what they feel like they deserve, whether that be taking breaks, or like taking, whatever it might be, it was mostly longer breaks. But then I also had another boss in the retail environment tell me the same thing. And he said, people will just like they'll steal, they'll do whatever they can to make themselves feel like they're of what value that they offer. So anyways, I just thought that was kind of neat. I always like to put these little life, and then my second job, skateboard shop, probably my funnest job. That was the best.
Benjamin asks, thoughts on the fat you eat is the fat you wear by McDougall, or is it more so calorie surplus fear deficit? I just first want to say that saying really bothers me, because when I first heard that the fat you eat is the fat you wear was probably like the first time that I started to, this was like many years ago when I started to really like be like, oh, I shouldn't be eating a lot of fat. And it kind of played into some disordered eating tendencies, which you see so often in not only the vegan plant-based community, but just in general. People are so scared of certain foods and stuff. And I hate that saying. I'm just going to go out and say it. I hate that saying so much because it's not true.
Right.
Anyways, you can go on.
I love it. I love it.
I just like, it bothers me because as a woman, I was like, the fat you eat's the fat you wear. Well, I don't want to be fat. And it's just like, why?
Yeah.
Who would say that? It's not
true. I like a lot of Dr. McDougall does, so we're not taking away from any of his research. But I think the intention behind that saying is not what a lot of people perceive it as, right? And we know that it's a lot easier to overeat fat. Yeah. It's a lot easier to gain weight when you overeat fat than it is if you eat carbohydrate-rich foods, because there's more calories per gram. There's generally not as much fiber, blah, blah. We know all this stuff, but in something that's like, packaged stuff like that, it is kind of, it can be a bit harmful of a saying. So I think you're right with the whole, like, it's more of the saying isn't quite as sexy, but like it's more of a caloric surplus and sedentary lifestyle than it would be than you just eating some fat. But yeah, I remember that when I first started eating whole foods plant-based, and I was like all on the, like, I was like, got to be 80-10-10, only 10% fat. And I was trying to do that for a while. And I don't know, I didn't feel terrible, but here I am now and not worrying about it and still feel awesome. So how much does curcumin interfere with blood thinners, warfarin, sodium? Should I avoid it altogether? This is from Plant-Based Swede. Yeah, that is one, man, so curcumin can be a blood thinner. It's well known for that. So that's something that you should probably work with your doctor for. I don't want to give too much information on that. And I also don't know to which level it will affect it. But I know, some things like curcumin in our blood, other things that are rich in like vitamin K, like kale and stuff, can increase the viscosity of our blood. Just ban this person. What's going on here?
I don't know how to.
Jack Richards, you, my friend, need friends, okay? And you need love, dude. I'm not even gonna say any. Put this user in a timeout. Goodbye. Jack Richards, you gotta think about what you're doing.
Clogging up the feed.
Man, people are so funny out there.
How would your diet look like if you were allergic to soy?
Oh man.
Probably eat everything except for soy, I guess.
Not sure if I'm not allergic to it. So no, I'm just kidding. I don't know. It would. Yeah, I mean, it would look very similar. I'd have to eat like more beans and lentils, I think. I'd probably eat more seitan, maybe. And it wouldn't be nearly as fun. But I mean, in that video that I did, I say I eat soy every day, but I was clear to say that I don't eat like a block of tofu every single day. Like I'll have, sometimes I'll use some soy seasoning, like Bragg's or soy sauce or whatever in a sauce. Sometimes I'll use miso. So it's not like I'm just like eating it constantly, but I will have tofu probably 3 times a week.
Should this be the last question? Because we're coming up to an hour.
Thoughts on gynecomastia? Thoughts on vegans?
I don't know. I've never seen vegans with gynecomastia.
Yeah,
it's not something that
it's a funny thing. Like usually it's associated with a higher body fat percentage. but I did actually, I got a DM from somebody, and I don't know actually if I've been able to get back to them, but they asked me about that. They said, hey, I've been like lean and I've been vegan for a while, and I have gynecomastia, and I saw your testosterone video. It was nice to see that your testosterone level is like great. So I don't know, it might be, often what happens is that happens when you have a lot of testosterone aromatizing, right? And they why I know about it is because it happens with like bodybuilders that might be on the gear, and they so much testosterone in the body, it aromatizes into, I think it's estrogen. I don't know if it's another estradiol or is that,
can go, I think, to estrogen.
And then that causes these like glands that are around our nipples to grow. So it might not be a bad idea to get a hormone panel done like with your doctor. It could be just a good starting point to see.
Yeah, because it's definitely not something that happens because you're vegan. Like if you're eating a lot of dairy and stuff like that, that's high estrogen foods.
Yeah.
But vegan foods that should be.
Yeah, I've never had any, but there is definitely a genetic component to it as well. Like I've had friends that have puffier areas there, and it's just like how they are, right?
So this is last
Crystal's got something to do today.
It's like an hour.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like, oh my goodness.
I just look at this. I'm just looking there, and it's just like, wow, there's so many people still watching us. But I know, I'm with you. It's like we can't just be on here all day, right? So when this ends, blame Crystal that you have.
No, I'm just trying to make it like
how to do
time for people.
So we got a question from Thomas Landrum. How to do vegan keto without using protein shake? Someone else's question. Oh, it's Alicia. Oh, isn't that kind of Thomas to throw up a super chat for Alicia? That's so nice of you, man. Okay, so how do you do that? How do we do vegan keto without using?
You really could. I don't know. We don't have really much experience with that.
No, I've thought about doing like a video on it because I do get the question a lot, but it's like. It would just be for a gag. Like, it's not something that I'm like, really want to like experiment with, but it might help some people. But at the same time, it's not something that I really promote. So I don't really want, because I do think it's harder, right? Especially if you're eating vegan, it's more difficult. And I don't see the need for us to be like avoiding carbohydrate rich foods. So that are so many plant foods. So that's just why I have such a hard time wrapping my head around it. But how to do vegan keto without using a protein shake? Yeah, let's try this. So seitan would be like so you got to keep it, 30 grams of net carbs a day.
Some people go even below that, or some people are like a little bit different. Yeah,
so
I think it's
even eating like a whole avocado, I'm pretty sure it gets you close to that. So it's like, I don't know the foods that you need to eat to stay in ketosis as a vegan. Like I'm sure in the chat, some people will have some ideas.
Someone says tofu, tempeh, coconut, nut, seeds, veg, mock meats. But that's the thing is like when you start leaning on like higher fat foods, especially like coconut and stuff that has like a lot of saturated fat in it, that is not going to be good for your like cholesterol and blood lipid levels. So that's why keto is such an interesting thing. And unless you have a medical need for it, and then if you have a medical need for it, then like definitely you should talk to a nutritionist to make sure that you're actually like getting all the nutrients you do, because keto just excludes so many things from your diet, especially when you're vegan.
Cool. Yeah, thanks, Crystal. Yeah, there's some more questions coming in, but you know what? We might have to call it here. Like, what are the signs of overtraining? I mean, you just being tired and seeing your lifts like go down when they should be increasing. Like I said, there's going to be like little dips here and there, but it should sort of like trend towards like getting stronger. So that's one way to tell. Also, yeah, if you're like constantly tired and you find like you're not recovering very well, that would be another sign of overtraining. And just kind of like look at how much you're training. Like, are you working out, lifting hard 7 days a week? You're probably overtraining. Are you not taking any days off? You're probably overtraining. Yeah. So anyways, Thomas said, keto can lead to restroom issues. I don't recommend it. There you go. Even Thomas, who was the one who reposted that question. The thing is, I want to be really like compassionate with people that do want to try these things, because we're all trying to do our best, and we're all just trying to find that like what works best for us and trying to find the ultimate health. Right. So yeah, anytime that I say, like something's not for me, it doesn't mean that it's like not a terrible idea and you shouldn't try it. But, if things are like that difficult, I just don't see the benefit. Anyways, I hope you guys all have a great day. Thank you all for the kind comments and questions and everything like that. Any new amazing food videos coming soon? Oh, okay. So yeah, let's do this. Right before I come off, we have 600 people here still listening. What kind of videos do you guys want to see? I love hearing suggestions from you. And, as a content creator, it is not easy to try and come up with fresh, new ideas all the time. And, I Crystal often recommends, oh, Derek, you should do a video on this. And I'm like, I've done a video on that a long time ago. And I don't want to repeat videos, but at the same time, I know that there's a lot of people who, who haven't seen some of those old videos. So yeah, I just want to see what kind of videos you guys want to see. So holler at your boy, let me know. So yeah, amazing food. I think that would be a really good one to bring back. That was a really nice structured one. Just a couple fun facts about the foods, and then some of the nutrients of it, and then a recipe. So I think that would be a good one to bring back. Training and workout videos. So this is the thing, you guys, that's a very well requested one, but no one seems to watch these videos. Yeah, Bobby's perspective, you're getting the timeout or whatever, guy. You just,
I don't know why everyone
you're
just
leave
us alone. We're not here for you guys. We don't care.
Go do your own thing. Yeah. The funny thing I think is that I rent space in these people's heads for free, and I don't ever think about them. Yeah, they come on my channel and try and talk shit. It's I don't care. Go do your own thing. Talk with your own people. Anyways.
20-minute meals is a good, that's
20-minute meals.
Idea.
Okay, great idea.
Amazing food, like you were saying.
TVP recipes. That's been one I've been meaning to do. That is a good one. People are always like, "What the heck do I use this stuff for?" So yeah, good one. A live cook with me, please. That could be fun. I know a little while ago, Crystal and I did that video where she just filmed me making a meal, and I tried to make it in 10 minutes, and it was a little bit hectic. But some people seem to really like it. Some people said it was a little messy and they prefer the polished content more. But I don't know. Was that a fun video? Do you guys like to see that? Yes. Why do you have to comment the same thing 10 times? Your journey to plank? Wow. So you're committed to this channel, eh? You're going to be around until 2048. Okay.
2048.
Road to planch.
Budget meals.
Live cooking and mukbang. LMAO, Bobby's perspective. Yeah, so funny. Vegan camping meal plan. Okay. Well, that could be maybe more of a summary type thing. We should go camping this summer, first of all, because we can't do anything else. Yeah. So
camping's not I'm not gonna lie, it's not my favorite thing in the world. I don't know.
No, she's not her favorite thing.
I'm not. I like my creature comforts.
More sweet treats. 3 recipes around one single ingredient, like a protein source. Okay, that's a good idea. I did that already with tempeh and tofu, but I think I could do that with beans and lentils. But again, right away I'm thinking, okay, well, I got some bean recipes, I got some lentils, but I've already done them. I've already had them in full day of eating. So it's
well, you gotta just be more creative.
Yeah, I know.
Try to
1 month without soy video. Oh my gosh, you guys are hard on me. Vegan campout vlog. Hey, if it happens, I'll be filming there for sure.
Top 3 sauces.
Why are all these anti-vegans here? I don't know, guys, because they don't have anything else to do. What else are you gonna do? Meal prep videos. Okay, that's a good idea. Workout motivation.
Man, the anti-vegan thing makes me laugh.
Oh my god, hard. First time you guys are live. Lupines. Yeah, I don't know why that's hidden, but yeah, someone's commenting about lupine beans. They're 40 grams of protein and all the essential amino acids. Very cool. Yeah, I had them. You can buy them at Whole Foods in this little they sell them in this little package, and they're flavored, and they're very good. Alkaline diet challenge. I should do a Dr. Sebi diet challenge and eat only heirloom foods, because that's what everybody always messages me. They're you shouldn't eat all these hybridized foods. Bananas are going to kill you. You got to eat heirloom foods.
All of the foods we get.
But I'm thinking, but there's no heirloom foods around here. So anyways, I'm just saying it's kind of tough. Awkward moments in the gym. No, I don't know. I don't have any. No, just kidding. I do. It's whenever I talk to people at the gym, it's awkward. Oh man, the last time I was at the gym, I had a conversation with a guy. He was like, "Hey, I've been following this new guy online." Anyway, Crystal doesn't want me to say that. She gave me the knee, but no, I won't go there. But it was just these kooks that are online. Just and they're like, "What do you think about them?" And I'm like, "Oh gosh, how deep do I want to get into this?" Mukbang videos, coupled on your starchy vegetables, super good sauces. Yeah, okay. Skate park challenge with Nimai. We don't live near each other though. Making other influencers' recipes but healthy. That's cool. What would you guys think about like reacting to like some TikTok like health advice or something like that? I've never really done any videos like that, but that could be like a fun one. I kind of realizing I gotta like kind of go with the trends here in order to get some, you know, some views, but I don't want to do any clickbaity things. Productivity tips. Oh my gosh, not the right guy to ask, but I could try. Bringing John or Brian to Vancouver Island. Yeah, that would be fun. No TikTok, that person says. Okay, no TikTok. No. All right, make TikToks, this person. Someone said no TikTok, and this person said make TikToks. Okay, we can do that. You don't know how much information I've learned from your videos. So easy to understand. Thank you. Yeah, great. I'm always surprised when people say that they learn so much from my videos, because I feel like I'm not like out there dropping tons of knowledge, but it's like the information that I convey is like, I want it to be the most like, you know, helpful and like easy to sort of, you know, use videos. And I'm also not like the most academic person. I can't really like, you know, speak like a scientist on all sorts of issues. So that's why I kind of keep it low level. But car winter driving video, no TikTok again. Okay. Are you natural, Dr. Oh, no, no, it's not even him. It's like some Leo.
That's so funny.
Yeah. None of us are natural. We're all on our computers being unnatural, eating unnatural nutrients. Okay. Anyways, guys, that's probably it. We're having fun. We got to get on with the day here. No biased vegan on the health benefit, non-biased vegan video on the benefits, health benefits of eating meat. Probably can't do that because I'm biased as a vegan. I'm just kidding. I don't know. It's not something that, how would that help any of us? Like it wouldn't be really helpful. Car winter drifting video. Yeah, no, there's no evidence of that. Another sauce video. Yeah, that would be good, man. I feel like I've shared like all my good ones with you guys, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for all the suggestions. Kid-friendly recipes. TikTok is a good way to grow. It's not as saturated as Instagram or YouTube. I'm not going to start a TikTok. I
love how you're just like full on. I'm not going to be doing that.
I don't think so. I know it could, and I know I'm leaving some cards on the table there with not starting one, but it doesn't entice me, and I only have like so much bandwidth for like all these different things, and I just got to stay focused because I even have trouble getting the video up a week here on YouTube. So here we go. All right, doing a meal plan for Crystal. Okay. Favorite leguminous vegetables. I just had to read that because I like that word.
Leguminous.
Mel rocks. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. Yeah, thanks so much.
Thanks, Mel.
Yeah, I appreciate seeing each and every one of you in here. But when we see like the same names like consistently, you know, that we've been seeing in the group and here for it's like amazing. Months, it just makes it feel like such a nice little community. So anyways, thank you guys so much. I hope you have a good day. And yeah, just get out there, try and move your body, stay positive, keep trying to move forward because, you know, times are weird and even this guy, you know, feels the ups and downs right now. So just know you're not alone, but get out there, do your thing. Thanks for watching. And yeah, it was her idea to match for the people that are asking. Much love, guys. Thank you.
It's too cute. Look at it. Cute.